Hey, how we doing, guys?
Morning, everybody.
So I believe this is the finale of the Marvelous Miss Maisel.
It is,
Season 2.
yeah. This was a longer season. I'm
Yeah.
assuming because of the incredible popularity of the first season that
Mhm.
they decided to expand. Ted Lasso did the same thing, right?
They
Ran
did.
longer seasons after the first because of its popularity.
Bigger budget, bigger stories, see if they look stretched out.
Clearly,
Yeah.
and someone pointed out on YouTube that there's a video of the making of the dance scene.
Yeah.
That where
Mhm.
the
Catskills.
at the Catskills, right, where
Yeah.
she's in and out of like 9 conversations on a continuous shot.
Amazing shot.
That had to take months to do, and I am definitely going to check that out when we're done with the show.
It hurts my brain to think about it because you're right. Months, not a couple days, months. Like
Right.
the choreography there, getting everybody there on time, and also just like.
Can you imagine how many takes that would take?
But also, I'm curious as to if it's actually a continuous oneer, or if it's like made to look that way.
Sure. I feel like it's a continuous wonder because she's never out of frame, right? Like you've seen 1917, right? You can tell
Every
where the
time they
breaks
leave
are
frame, yeah.
when they leave frame, like when they go into the dark or out of the dark,
Yeah.
or when he's in the river and floats by behind the boulders.
Sure.
Like, okay, there's a cut there.
Even Birdman does it, and Birdman has a great breakdown. Video
Sure,
when they do it,
and that's not a criticism, right?
No, not at all.
Breaking up
You have
shots,
to do it, yeah.
breaking up shots that feel like wonders. It's part of the strategy of making films and television now. You kind of wonder something like there are times that wonders are used in things where I'm like that didn't need to be a wonder. You know what I mean? Like there are times where it's like you could have
It's
broken that up.
The director trying to flex a little bit.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
right? I don't feel like that's the case here. I feel like this is kind of has like a period big show feel to it. Kind of like a kind of like a play, right? Like a big Rodgers and Hammerstein play sometimes, even though this isn't a musical, but
It has that
it does.
swinging kind of feel.
It does. It has like it does have musical background numbers playing. Sometimes, like inside the copa, you start on the band and pull out, or in that dance scene, right? So it does kind of feel like a big band number.
Yeah, to match the tone of the show, you kind of need the camera to glide.
Absolutely,
and that's where kind of swaying with everything.
Right.
It's really genius.
It really helps with the tone of the show a lot. I feel like it gets me into the world of the show. Doing those,
and also like just from top to bottom, from episode 1 of the season to what I'm assuming I'm assuming we're going to love this episode.
Sure,
but every episode we've seen thus far has just been delightful.
Oh, it's been amazing. We've had cliffhangers on some things.
We have.
There's been a lot of surprises on character development.
I would say
Rose has been way more chill about Midge getting into stand up than I thought she would.
Rose has been delightful this season.
She's from start to finish, right? She's kind of once she kind of got through her pettiness in Paris a little bit. She's been just hitting it out of the park as far as a wife and mother, right?
Abe's been more of the curmudgeon this season.
Yeah, which we didn't see coming, right?
We just wanted to drink his tomato juice.
We even there are multiple videos I know where you're not like. Abe seems to be the voice of reason here, and not Rose. And I feel like that switched a little bit, for
the
sure.
Show being like you thought.
I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like Abe is struggling with his ego. Like he's always been an ego guy. It's been kind of fun. Now it's like ego fighting insecurity.
Yeah.
And in that little war, I feel like he's heading towards unemployment in both of his jobs as a result of it.
Unless he does take the break, but I don't know because it's like
he's pretty stubborn. The only hope I have for him is when he watched Midge's stand up, right? And you commented on it at the end how he realized not only is she good at what she's doing, but people respond to it, right? He saw everybody was watching it. The world around him at least saw her
and
doing well.
That is almost as important to him as her being good is the fact that other people think that she's good.
It is, right? You're right.
And it's a sad truth, but I think that's kind of important to Abe.
No, it is. It's
and even Rose too. Like they're I don't want to say they're vain, but they kind of are vain
in a way that I think you're right, and that they feel like their kids' behavior, even as adults, reflects on them.
And I'm 60
even though that's
years
not
old,
true.
I've had a ton of success, kind of way.
Yeah. I'm 60. My kid, or 50s. My kids are in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
I feel like what's his name? Is her brother?
Noah.
I feel like Noah's got to be pushing 30, right? He's the older brother.
I assumed he was in his 30s.
Right.
Well, Astrid might have said because she made her age very clear because she wasn't pregnant at the time.
Right. But she might. I feel like she's younger.
She could be for sure.
But I feel like your kids are adults. I feel like you're kind of off the hook for the choices that they make at that point. But I think it's pretty common to parents to really feel like it's reflective of them.
I think that's interesting too in the show is the whole out of the nest situation.
Sure.
Like I would love to see a movie or show just about like what parents do after the kids leave the house. They're like, what do we do now? You know?
Right.
Yeah, we're close to retirement.
That untethered kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, now what?
If that's made into something, guys, let me know, because I think that's interesting.
I feel like it's such a big trope and also a big reality that I'd be surprised if there's not, like, Empty Nest or wasn't there a sitcom called Empty Nest?
That's hilarious if there is, actually.
I think it was. I think it was this is before my time, but I think it was a spinoff of Golden Girls.
Oh.
I could be wrong. Someone let me know if I'm sounding like an idiot on that. But I feel like there was a spinoff of Golden Girls called Empty Nest.
And didn't Don Cheadle
I don't think. What? I'm sorry?
Didn't Don Cheadle get a spinoff from the Golden Girls?
Did he?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Let us know.
And the other big thing we have kind of hanging over this is Susie going off on
Sophie.
Sophie, you're right. Going off on Sophie. And I was with Susie on it because viscerally it felt good. Like I was cheering her on because I hate Sophie.
It was a nice release.
But Midge pointed out, like, this actually could have been better if you just let it go. And I'm like, you know what? I think she might be right, too. I'm not. So I guess we kind of have to see what the reaction is to know who's right there. I know that seems weird. It's like, well, whatever the consequences are determines if you did the right thing or not. But it's true in this case, right?
Yeah.
If
she should have let the work speak for herself.
Right. Yeah. If Sophie escalates, then Susie should have absolutely kept her mouth shut.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see going forward from here. I expect, and I could be wrong, based on the last episode, the singer.
Shy,
right. I expect him to kind of be a savior and hire Midge to go on tour with him. And I think season 3 might be
I hope so.
them together. Because I feel like we've introduced the idea of touring in the show. Like that's the next step for her.
We dabbled with it here.
Right. She had a massively successful night at the telethon, which I also was, right?
Yeah.
So, and he hates Sophie.
He does hate Sophie.
So I feel like the chance to get back at Sophie, if Sophie tries to bury Midge at this point, is there. I think there's an outlet for everybody to win there.
I do too,
except for Sophie.
And somebody pointed out too. We thought that Joel's going to donate that $60,000.
I did too. Yeah.
Somebody on Patreon pointed out they think it's more of him looking at the check and being like, maybe I should live my dream now because
Midge is doing hers. Yeah. See, that makes more sense because I thought it would have been really weird of him to donate that much.
Very self-destructive.
Well, yeah. And not only that, but it would have been a real kick in the face to his dad. Yeah. That's a lot of money his dad's giving him to just turn around and just give it away like that. I'm not trying to sound uncharitable, but
it's $60,000.
It's $60,000. You don't have a job. It's $60,000. You don't have a job, and it's nest money that your parents are trying to give you to set up your life. Yeah. You don't give that away flippantly to anybody.
So we have to see what Joel's up to in this episode as well.
A lot going on. Plus, I expect a breakup with Benjamin at some point.
I do too. I don't know why I do, but I really feel like that's coming. I don't know if it's because she doesn't have time for Benjamin, or
I feel like people. I feel like Benjamin is being set up as the perfect guy, and I think he is. Like I love everything about him, and I think that the reason you do that is to say Midge isn't about finding the perfect man anymore. She's about doing her own thing.
And they've hinted at it. I mean, even with the artist episode,
and he really screwed up by showing up at the park. And that was a bad idea. Yeah. A divorced parent, right? When you start dating someone and want to introduce your kids to that person, that's something that you really want to plan out and have a lot of control over. Yeah. And Benjamin just kind of ran roughshod over that.
What are you doing here? I'm here to murder you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like I'm just here to force the issue of meeting your kid.
Here I am.
Right. All right, we do want to welcome a couple more subscribers for the last day, guys. So Jeff and Blake Denton, welcome, folks. We're really glad you're here with us, guys.
We really are. And if you guys are watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you'd like to hit the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
Yeah, if you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or are watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. We are several episodes ahead on Miss Marvelous Mrs. Maisel over on Patreon. So when you get done with this on YouTube, you can hop over there and check out the next several. You will have to sync and watch along on your own streaming service.
Yes.
We are, of course, on Amazon, as you can plainly see on the screen. We're also watching 30 Rock right now as a Patreon exclusive. And wow, we talked a lot, so sorry for the...
We're just excited.
We love the show, and we're excited for the finale here, so we had a lot to say. All right. Here we go.
Oh, she's back at the fortune teller? Or psychic?
Oh, yeah, you're right. The new one.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
You remember me?
Oh, yeah. Long time no see.
She didn't use her.
Hello.
Hello.
You're there for a reading, yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean,
my
it's
daughter,
a business, right?
Remember? Oh, no, I remember. You like fire.
Just sit there.
That is definitely fake pizza. What? Maybe it's not.
No, it's not.
For New York pizza? Come on.
It's not very floppy, is it?
Okay, my daughter, Miriam.
Why, yes.
You just told me her name, don't get too impressed.
Yes.
But
There's a
No, okay.
very viable man in the picture now.
she hasn't come at Miriam about it, which is just as good.
She is the object
No.
of deep adoration.
That's Benjamin. He'll adore her. He'll be
He's seeing all this wrong.
Yeah.
in a slightly robotic way, but
I see her talking. Speaking very quickly into a microphone.
That's
her
what she
speech.
does.
She gave us
Has she seen her act?
strolling by here with no intention of coming in at all, and then I did. Oh, here.
No, she definitely heard what she wanted to hear there.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week. There's gonna be a wedding.
That makes me sad.
It does make me sad. She's in denial because that very much sounded like a stand-up
I
act.
don't know why you'd wear a black cocktail dress to a wedding, but
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So she's actually psychic.
Supposed to be in my dorm room by midnight. This is the third time this week I've missed.
No, flashback.
Yep.
If you don't say yes right now, I'm gonna walk out in the middle of the street and wait for a bus to run me over.
Pay the bill first.
This is not the. I didn't expect this to be the proposal. I'm gonna marry him.
You're right.
I'm going for broke, Miriam Weissman.
No.
Oh no, I would be furious if I was driving through here. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And now we know that in 2023 you can be shot for holding up traffic in the room.
Seriously. Nowadays, someone would just plow you just to do it.
Yeah.
just because they were mad at the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great camera shot.
Wow.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that nice pushing.
Someone would definitely
Beautiful.
bump you with your car.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That red light. It's
Oh my
beautiful.
god. Yeah, that is great. Look at this shot.
This might be the best shot of the whole series so far.
Right? That was pretty great. So she's not over him.
No. So she can't marry Benjamin.
No way.
So you understand, Miriam.
I do.
Could you explain her to me? Humor is very important in our house, Benjamin.
From him?
If anything I should know, that will certainly kill her mother.
No. I've just waited a long time to find the right person, and now I have. That's all.
I really feel bad for him because you know this isn't going to go well. Yeah.
Well, she's.
Favorite radio show.
Mr. Weissman, could you excuse me a minute? I need to use the bathroom.
He has taken his curmudgeonly behavior up to 11 this season.
Seriously.
Get back in there. If he thinks you're taking too long in the bathroom, there will be a very thorough physical in your future.
Bye.
Wow.
Is this how you look in the morning?
Yes, it is.
I'll never make it to work on time again.
Aww.
See, when I gave you that giant amount of money to go away, I expected you to go away.
I was wondering that too. I was like, why is he back?
This one?
Second wedding.
What does that mean? You don't get to go all out for the second wedding? Come on.
I don't want to wear
Champagne.
champagne. It's not a color. It's what happens when white gets sad. Papa still hasn't said yes. Plus, he said if he does say yes, he's not going to pay for it.
Yes, he will.
I get that not wanting to spend a big amount of money on the second one.
I get it, yeah. Especially if they're paying for it.
Right.
I was just wondering if you thought any more about your talk with Benjamin.
No.
No? Just no?
No. Yes, no.
I wonder if Abe is not going to be into him.
That's true.
We can go ahead and marry you without my permission. Joel did. That turned out great.
Is that what this is about?
Fine.
I'll send up a flare.
Super.
Man, am I glad we've gotten out of these days where the parents have to agree. Yeah.
You did talk about me.
Just a little.
What did you say? It's very important that I know.
Yeah, she got him in trouble with Bell Labs. Yeah.
I found you listening to my 4-year-old's record, a song about teaching yourself to wipe your tushy after going to the bathroom. And you said you were listening to it because at work you're trying to teach a computer to sing.
It was a good bit, too.
Right. I mean, if they were mad because she mentioned that.
It's more about his attitude. I feel
Right.
like, you know?
Ms. Lennon requests your presence at her house this Friday, 1 o'clock sharp.
What? Why? She is requesting it. Friday, 1 o'clock sharp.
Well, why is she scared to go there? She got in her face and threatened her.
She did,
You should be able to show up to talk to her. Yeah.
Why are you giving me the brush off?
I'm not giving you the brush off. I have to work, you have to go. Case closed.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. He's mad about Benjamin.
I heard about
Yeah.
Ethan meeting your new friend at the park.
Oh, Joel.
You know, I have friends too.
Yeah, you're dating a million girls.
Mama told him we were there. I didn't invite him.
Those are my children,
Yeah.
Midge. I have a right to know who's meeting them.
All right.
Didn't he have Penny over?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
I thought we were playing nice.
We are.
My kids. Mine. I should be informed before you hand them over to another man.
This is the worst I've seen of Joel this season.
This is a low for him.
It is. I think he'll get through it, but
Friend!
I hate friends. Kids have all sorts of
he
friends.
hooks up
Come meet
with
my
different
kids. We're
women
in the
every
car.
night.
Three kids.
Ethan stayed over when he was living with Penny.
I know, like the Penny thing. We're just gonna ignore that now.
Accidents happen all the time.
Also, is
Especially
this
after four
CG or they
Rob
actually like
Roy's.
They actually look like they're killing this, don't they?
I know.
Yeah.
You know what?
He told her that he can't be with her, and now she's mad that
it was his decision.
Yeah. Oh, Joel's really being bad here.
He let me hang out there. Threw me a couple of bucks if I ran errands, bought the guy cigarettes.
It's kind of like Henry Hill when he was a kid. Yeah. Yeah.
There's this guy, Jimmy Conway.
Yeah, right.
Used to rob trucks.
I'm going to get the papers. Get the papers.
I love that line. I love that scene.
Yeah.
You always make me laugh. Your impression of your
Funny
Uncle
how.
Mo slays me.
I'm talking professional funny.
Right. He's funny in
He wants
conversation.
he wants to be a comedian now too. Again?
No, he's saying he's not. He's not.
Oh.
It sounds like
I'm
he
gonna
wants.
do it.
He wants to work in a
I
club.
think I'm gonna open a club.
Open a. He's got $60,000.
Yeah, I guess he could do it. But
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, those things.
That seems impulsive, unless that's really his dream.
You can open a club in New York City. Good luck.
I'd like to talk to you in the secure room now.
Is this where he quits? Has to be. He looked like his ego's taken over again.
Yes, hello, Martin, but Charles, we don't need you.
Yep.
We're gonna do this again. Yeah.
Jackson, head of our in-house counsel.
Yes, hello, Bob.
When in-house counsel walks in, you're like, "Am I getting fired here?"
Right.
Yeah.
And she told me.
This friend.
Yeah. I think he's done here.
If I told you that, then I would be a security risk.
And if I listened to that, then I would be a security risk.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
You came to Columbia and begged me to come here and give you my expertise, and I did. And now you treat me like a criminal?
Oh, Abe.
Hey, easy.
You really want to mess with me? Go ahead. Take your best shot.
So you get fired.
No, he's done. He's not working there anymore.
You're going to have to buzz me out.
You want to see her? Well, I certainly didn't come here to see you.
Oh, that's kind of like a drawer. Yeah.
Well, I have two pretty good ones right now. I know, but when they're new, fresh out of the drawer, there's nothing. I promise.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you. I'm Miles.
Is this the same club where she destroyed him the last time? Yeah.
The mustard on her shirt.
Yeah.
The thing I know the most about pregnancy is that there is
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Maisel!
The hell was that?
Yeah, why are they cutting her off?
She can talk about whatever she wants to. It's her act.
Nope. Here she tells jokes. If you want to talk about your female parts, you go see the obstetrician.
Well, this guy sucks.
Sucks, man. Yeah, find a new club.
You just have to keep fighting.
You keep fighting. I'm gonna get a drink.
He blew it with Sophie.
She can go see her.
Well, I don't know if it's Friday yet. I think it's not Friday yet. She's going to show up.
I hope she goes.
Right.
Well, Sinatra?
Oh, is that Lenny Bruce?
Yeah, somebody said he's got a great performance this episode. I think he won the Emmy for this episode.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, he's great. He's absolutely great.
Yanked from the stage mid-set and thrown out of the club.
What did you say?
Pregnant.
Oh, well, then you had it coming.
Close enough. 2 steps back.
Okay, this is, yeah.
I know. I'm sorry about that.
You blocked my steam. No one has ever blocked my steam.
Okay.
before.
I was out of line.
This is a lot of eating it. Yeah.
Is that really how they talk?
Well, they don't discuss putting things on plates as much as you think.
That's awesome.
I want someone to believe in me, to fight for me, to threaten violence.
You trying to hire her away?
Wow.
Okay, we have kind of a special thing going on, a connection.
And I want a special thing as well.
I did not see this coming.
I did not either.
Drive, vision.
Is she asking Susie to be her manager?
She is, but I don't know if it's legitimate or if it's just to torture her.
There you go.
I want you to be my manager.
I mean...
She gave her a coat.
Goodbye.
I want to go see Sophie Lennon. Jeez, man.
Right?
You're walking out in those kind of duds.
Yeah, she's like spinning from that.
Look, the capital would help, but at the same time, does Susie have those kind of connections she's looking for? Also, does she want to continue to play Sophie?
I don't know.
She will kill me brutally, and then it might be linked to you in the press, and I'd feel terrible about that. Please wait till she gets back. Can I get you some coffee?
Absolutely. Cream and sugar. Why isn't that girl a star?
And then I said to myself, well, you know what, Shy? You can help with this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I figured was going to happen.
How would you like to open for me on tour?
Yes.
What we really called that one?
Yeah.
6 months. 3 in the States,
6
3 in
months.
Europe. You'll do 30 minutes and a couple of bits with me.
Say yes.
Purpose of my phone call. So,
I mean, you're leaving
Yes.
the kids for 6 months, but yes.
You sure you
there
don't
go.
need...
No. Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
It gets her out of the New York club garbage she's in, yeah.
So this is a really interesting dynamic between Susie and Midge now.
Yeah.
Because you don't need Susie for this.
She doesn't need Susie for this.
Susie might be taking over.
Susie has not been doing great lately.
Man. All right, well, this is not going to get resolved this episode. I don't
Right.
think so.
Sure. You weren't gonna have to give me a better sure than that. Sure! Ew, go back. I'm gonna need a passport. And some decent underwear. I can't believe it! You know what I'd love to do? Buy Sophie Lennon some flowers.
Okay, now it's your turn.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on the tour.
Oh my God, we're going to do this.
Right. Is she going to try to work both?
That's our bread and butter now, sister.
I just need to tell you. My underwear's fine, so shut up.
She's not going to tell her?
God.
I've made a decision.
About what?
What do you mean, about what?
Oh, Benjamin.
Yeah, for sure.
I made a decision concerning you and Benjamin.
She wasn't even thinking about him.
Efficient. He can swim. He's up to date on his mortgage.
She didn't even think about him the whole time.
After much deliberation, Miriam, I have decided to give Benjamin permission.
She's not going to do it now.
You may get married.
I'm not going to. Yeah.
That's great. Why don't we go into my study for a minute?
He has lost his job at Bell Labs. Is that what this is about? Yeah.
It's not going to work out with Bell Labs, Rose. That is not a place for me anymore.
Well, fine. You'll just focus on the university.
And I'm going to leave Columbia.
So he is going to be unemployed.
Take a sabbatical.
A paid sabbatical.
I don't want
Yeah,
their money
paid.
if I'm not earning it.
Of course you do.
Quit after the sabbatical. Take the money.
You've lost your mind.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't.
You have.
You're leaving
Take the
Columbia.
money.
I
Take
don't
the
want
money.
to spend my life just drifting along.
But does he have a plan?
Columbia owns our apartment, Abe.
Why did you not think of that?
Right.
You'd really better sit down.
Oh, and now they're not getting married. He's going to tell her.
Lenny Bruce.
Tits up.
You know,
You'll explain that when I get back.
it would get old if people are like, "Oh, he's so shocking."
Right.
Like,
Oh,
I'm just
that
a
would.
comedian,
Yeah,
man.
I'm just
Like,
here to tell jokes. Yeah.
I'm really not that shocking of a guy.
Yeah. You people just have no sense of humor.
Yeah.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Abe.
No problem. I just got here.
My father says hello.
How is Robert?
Oh, the lawyer.
Yeah, it is a lawyer. Yeah.
I'm spoiling for a really good fight. Well, then you've come to the right man.
Who is he suing?
I would assume Bell Labs for going after his daughter. Be my guess. I have no idea. Because Columbia hasn't done anything to him.
Once he's going to fight for that tenure, but I mean, I doubt it. I mean,
If he's quitting, he's done. Yeah.
exactly. Like, you don't think it's a divorce, do you?
No, hell, no
Yeah,
way.
I'd say no.
That'd be a really dark turn
Yeah.
for these two. Yeah.
All alone.
Yeah, she knows.
All alone.
I wonder what this impacts her with Benjamin at all.
Yeah.
What a great bit of timing for it with her own crossroads that she's at, you know?
Yeah.
Didn't even think about it. Didn't think about anything or anyone. Just yes. And I understand now. Everything's different.
Yeah.
Midge.
I am going to be all alone for the rest of my life. That's what I just decided in a 5-minute phone call.
That's not true.
And I don't want to be alone.
You gotta go.
Oh.
Tonight, just for tonight. I really need to be with someone who loves me.
Interesting. And it's not Benjamin. Wow.
Wow. All right. Okay.
I really like that ending a lot.
I did too.
It was the most honest thing that somebody's done on this show. You know what I mean?
It was very honest, and I liked it.
It wasn't easy. Yeah.
She didn't do the whole trope where she's like, I'm not leaving.
Right. There wasn't a back and forth. She just accepted the fact that she just made the decision instantly.
Also, look, earlier in the episode when I said I feel like Susie should have told her, she should have told her, but I like that we didn't get into like the drama of that in this episode because I think it just be too much. It's too much to leave hanging. Like I told Sophie, like you told Sophie, or I talked to Sophie. I really wish that I want to see how that's going to come ahead going forward. If Susie's just going to brush Sophie off and be like, "Yeah, she offered me a job, I didn't take it."
I don't think that's the case, or she wouldn't have been so reticent to tell her. She would have said, "By the way, Susie offered me a job. I told her where she can go. I'm here for you." So I think she took it.
I think she's contemplating it. I mean, which is look. I mean, if you want
she's a manager, right?
You have to. I mean, Harry Drake has more than one client.
That's what I'm saying. Managers can manage more than one person. Yeah. It's just
going on the road for 6 months is a little tough.
And how is she going to manage Midge's rival? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so she's going to have to break her down on Sophie.
Right. Maximilian Schell and Steve McQueen didn't have the same agent. You know?
That's funny.
They kill each other in the same room.
Really. Interesting enough, though. I mean, it was Midge that was like, hey, be nice to Sophie.
Right.
So if Midge is now resentful towards Sophie, a little ironic, you know what I mean?
I don't think she's going to be resentful to Sophie. I don't. She might. I think it's more about Susie. It's like I thought it was you and me, and that's what we were doing. The question is how far down the road do we go without Midge knowing what Susie's up to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she can go on tour with her and be on the phone while she's away from Midge. Working it for Sophie all the time, right?
That's true.
And I don't know how far you juggle. It's like an episode of Three's Company, right? Yeah. You juggle that as far as you can juggle things and sneak as much as you can sneak. But clearly, Susie has no intention of telling her.
I mean, look. So as far as Sophie goes, I have a little more empathy for her now. Because she went to Yale to be the next big thing, right?
And that's the thing, right? You're right. We never really got her story of how she ended up where she is. But you look at her and she's a hack and she's mean, but it's like
she's typecast.
She's also a person, right? They got there somehow.
Kind of like Deborah Vance,
right? Exactly.
Kinda. Like you want to do something else and it's not working, so finally you're like, all right, I'll sell out and I'll pay the bills.
Right. Yeah. It's like once you got pigeonholed into that one thing, that's it. That's where you are, and that's where you're going to stay. And how many actors can you say that about? That's like they can't get out of not easily. They can't get out before his racist tirade. Michael Richards,
Kramer.
He couldn't get a career after that because all he was Kramer, right? Yeah. And so he had a show for a little while.
Did he?
A sitcom that was I never watched it. I think it was a total disaster.
Gotcha.
But I think it was the same thing. He couldn't escape Kramer. And that's how he ended up doing ill-advised stand-up, right?
Franchise or show, it's going to be tough for that actor to break out of, and Sophie's no different than that. I mean, look at the Star Wars, half the Star Wars actors. I mean,
right?
Said Friends, Seinfeld,
yeah. Well, look at Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Some of these guys are playing, are stuck kind of playing the same kind of roles. And you can kind of see the intention and intentionality of when they don't, right? Yeah. Scarlett Johansson worked really hard to play other roles besides.
She's an exception.
Action.
She's been nominated for an Oscar many times.
Yeah. Right. Well, two in 1 year during her Marvel run. She worked really hard to get other stuff.
Sure. So,
but you're right. She's an exception and not the rule.
Yeah. And you're going to have those, obviously.
Sure.
But you can't fault somebody for wanting to keep the lights on. You got to pay your bills. Acting is it's very hit and miss. And look, as far as fulfilling your dreams and fulfilling your emotional creativity, you can't fault Sophie for being like, I want to do something else. I want to try something new. I'm getting older. Like, I have all the money in the world.
Sure.
Now I want to do something for me.
Well, I mean, it's not even just entertainers. How many people are working in jobs where it's like, I would love to quit my job and go do something else. Like, I hate my job, but I'm making so much money or I'm having so much success here that I don't feel like the smart thing to do would be to leave and go do what I really want.
When you're
like,
young,
there are people all over the world that are in that position.
You're young. You're like, I don't want to conform. I don't want to sell out, man.
Right.
Then finally you hit that crossroads where you're like, well, I have to do something.
Right.
So it is interesting.
Yeah, once she got that, she just couldn't get out. Now, she's obviously been awful too. Like,
no, sure, yeah, you can't excuse her behavior. But
no, yeah,
sure.
yeah. I mean, you can have empathy for her career-wise. You can also say she's also just a nasty person.
Is that pride? Is that her pride? That's just. I mean, it is because
sure.
you badmouth me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, because I mean, you said it in the last couple times when Sophie's been awful. It's like comedians usually have pretty thick skin about being made fun of, and she's kind of the opposite end of that.
She kind of is.
It's more of the how dare you say anything to make me feel insecure about myself?
She's not a comedian at heart.
Because she's not a comedian. She's performing a role. She's being more of an actor than a comedian, and that makes it make a lot more sense, right? She's just doing this role, and she's not actually stand up.
Yeah, and so now that what's interesting. So now that we actually understand her, are we going to start to like her like we liked Joel?
It depends on what we see of her going forward.
True.
You know what I mean? It depends on what they show us.
Yeah,
because I don't think we're done with her.
It'd be kind of fun. I know Susie. She told Susie earlier in the episode, she was like, "I've never been to Queens." Is she going to have Susie take her to Queens? Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't know how much contact you have between Susie and her because of the tour. Right.
Now. I'm assuming, well, we didn't get much of a time jump from season 1 to 2. It was immediately. They just picked right up. So I wonder if they're going to do the same thing in the next season, if they're just going to continue it, you know?
Well, and that kind of makes me wonder about Susie's motivation, too. Because remember, season 1 through now, everything Susie said was, I want to be with this girl because she's the real deal. Yeah. She's going to be a star. She's better than anyone else I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And that idea of the real deal. And Sophie's obviously the opposite. Mm-hmm. Maybe a talented actor, and that's the way Susie's going to take her. Yeah. But she is clearly like, well, now I'm going to work for someone I've always considered a hack. Yeah. Which is the opposite of what she said about why she wants to work with Midge.
Also be selling out.
Yeah, exactly. She would be selling out also. Now, you can argue that she's not because Sophie might be going into using her actual talents as an actor instead of her hack talents as a fake stand-up.
Maybe she wants to go on off Broadway.
Right, yeah, exactly. Maybe it's hard to say. She wants to get back on the stage as a serious actress, but, without the fat suit.
She has the opportunity to do that now, because look how many comedians break into film after they're already famous and they crush it. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's
Harry, Robin Williams.
I feel like that's a new phenomenon, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I've never heard of like Lenny Bruce or Will Rogers.
Bob Hope did it though. Well, he didn't get an Oscar nomination, but he was in movies and stuff.
Sure, but they were still comedy roles, right?
Sure, yeah.
If you're talking about her, I don't think that's what she wants to do. I think she wants to become a serious actor. Yeah, sure. And you're right. Like Robin Williams did it. Jim Carrey's done it. There have been a number of actors who have done it. But I don't think that's for the time period a very common thing. I think it's a relatively new idea. Plus, stand-up's relatively new at this point.
I think let us know if there was a comedian if there was an exception back in the day. I don't think there is. I can't think of anybody huge. If there was a comedian that did act, I know for a fact they didn't win an Oscar.
Right. And again, stand-up is so new at this point. Like people still don't know what it is a lot of the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's very, I don't want to say underground at this time, but it kind of was, at least whatever mainstream stand-up is today.
It wasn't that, right?
It wasn't that. It was, if it was very blue-collar, then it was in clubs like the Gaslight.
Sure.
As far as the Luke Kirby performance goes, my God, that's the kind of stuff that you get nominated for an Oscar for. Like, it really is. Like, I thought he absolutely crushed that. And he did win the Emmys, what you guys were telling us. So,
he's great. Yeah.
Deserved the Emmy. Completely so. Like, that was fantastic.
Yeah. Since we've been watching this, I've been getting the Lenny film, the Dustin Hoffman movie, is a suggestion to. I haven't watched it yet, but it keeps popping up. Obviously, because we're watching this.
When we're done with this, we should do that. I've never seen it.
What do you guys think? Have you seen the Lenny film? Are we going to like it? I think
74.
I think Hoffman was nominated for Oscar for it. Yeah,
that was because 74 was Godfather 2, and he was one of the nominees. And the film was nominated as well. So I've never seen it.
I've not either. So I've never seen a clip from it.
If you get same, which is kind of weird.
Right, I've never seen anything from it.
So if you guys are interested in that, let us know. Obviously, we like to do new things over here.
Sure.
But no, like it's probably gonna be very different as well. But that performance from Luke Kirby. Phenomenal.
Yeah, and he's been that good since the beginning. Like we've said before, it is tough, and that also goes for really all the comedians on the show, right? Because it is tough for an actor to pull off stand-up comedy. We've seen good actors try to do it in movies and television and just not really get it, right? Not really kill it at all. I've seen Tom Hanks do a bad job of it, right?
Was that movie Sally Field? Punchline.
Punchline, yeah. I mean, we've seen him try to do it.
Yeah.
And
the writing too.
Right.
It's all about the writing.
It is, but they execute it so well on this show as well.
They do. Fantastic show, guys, and I really can't wait to hop into season 3.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what our time leap is going to be, if anything. I assume because she's like, I'm leaving right now, I need to go pack, but I'm going to spend the night with you. My assumption is either we start the next morning with Joel, or we're on tour, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we jump into the tour, or we're with Joel the next morning.
I agree, because that's how season 2 started,
Right.
Yeah.
Just hit the ground sprinting.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see, but this show is so underrated.
Oh, man, it's so good.
Look forward to the next one. Catch you later, guys.
See ya.